Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
7:37. They got the alligator Alcatraz T-shirts in heather gray or charcoal. Not sure which you'd prefer, Julie Gunlock.
Like charcoal.
They also have the trucker hat.
Oh,
They got a black trucker hat with the mesh back.
Nice.
Over at the Florida GOP website. They've also got a Gulf of America shirts. Says, welcome to the Gulf of America, and it shows an elephant lounging in a chaise lounge near the Gulf.
I love this.
Right?
I love every bit of this.
I went to look at the swag they're selling on the Maryland GOP website, and all it has is big T-shirts that say, help, get me out of here. That's a big difference there between the Sunshine State and the Terrapin State. Joining us now, it's Phil Wegmann. He's the White House correspondent for Real Clear Politics. Are you traveling with the president to the Alligator Alcatraz, Phil?
I'm staying in the swamp and not going anywhere near the Everglades, but it'll be especially interesting because this facility is getting a lot of attention. It was branded Alligator Alcatraz not by opponents of President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, but by the Florida Republicans down there on their own. And I think that as we look at the facility there, while the One Big Beautiful Bill makes its way through Congress, the promise that Tom Homan has made is that if ICE and Border Patrol get this additional funding, that deportations are going to skyrocket. So perhaps Alligator Alcatraz is a sign of things to come.
Phil, you mentioned the big, beautiful bill, as they call it. It's a huge tax cut. It's the president's tax cuts, the ones he promised and ran on. You would think Republicans would line up to help their president get those tax cuts enacted. But, boy, they're having a lot of trouble there in the Senate on some of the key provisions. Where does it stand now on Dawn's early light?
So you have Senate Republicans. Some of them are not happy with the bitter pill they were forced to swallow. You have Rand Paul, who has made arguments that sound kind of like throwbacks from the Tea Party era. Turns out he believes those fiscal conservative arguments. He doesn't want to see the debt ceiling increase. Then you have Tom Tillis of North Carolina, who now really does have nothing to lose after he announced his retirement. He's an opponent to the changes that are being made to Medicaid. We're going to see how this ends up. I mean, Republicans, their backs are to the wall on this because this is Trump's one and only chance to get his marquee legislative agenda into law. So they're going to pass something. But whether it satisfies the hopes and dreams of the president, that remains to be seen.
Well, Phil, one of Trump's opponents on this is Elon Musk. He has vowed primary challenges for those who support it. That's a lot, then. It's a lot. It's pretty much all of them, except a few. And then, of course, Trump responds to that by saying, oh, this is all about the EV mandates. What are your thoughts on this? Is that something that members are going to be worried about, Elon Musk vowing to go after all of these members if they support the big, beautiful bill?
I mean, to your point, is it going to primary the entire party? Right. That would be difficult. Go look at the roll call vote over in the House. We're going to see something pretty similar in the Senate, I imagine, by the end of this thing.
He could fund the primary challenges of those that are vulnerable, absolutely. And for those vulnerable members, are they going to think twice?
That's very true. I think that this gives some of those fiscal conservatives a little bit more room to operate as Elon Musk turns up the pressure on Republicans. He also was also floating the idea of a third party. The world's richest man has a sort of mixed record when it comes to results in politics, but when he has that much cash to throw around, it is something that they have to take notice of. Yeah. And what we see from Trump is he continues to find this pressure point. He continues to argue this is about EV mandates. When Elon Musk says, no, I spent all of that money in the last general election, and I spent all of those months in Washington because I really was serious about shrinking the size of government, and now Republicans, at least in his view, are doing the exact opposite.
Phil Wegmann's our guest. He's the White House correspondent for Real Clear Politics. Phil, as the president was leaving his Trump National Golf Club in Sterling, Virginia Sunday, there was a photograph taken of him in the back of the Beast wearing what appears to be reading glasses. You made note of this on your X account. Have you seen Trump wearing glasses? I had no idea. You feel like this guy's been in our life for decades, either as a TV star or media mogul or president.
He didn't
and
tell us.
I had no idea he wore glasses.
Yeah, my money is on Peter Ducey to be the first reporter to ask him a question about the readers. It seems like a Peter question. I haven't seen him either, which was so remarkable. I mean, I was with the president in the motorcade on Sunday, but I didn't spot him wearing glasses. And I think that, like, look, Donald Trump, more than anything, he's obsessed with the image and the shot. The guy understands television. And in this case, he, often leaves the glasses at home away from the cameras. So it was surprising, to say the least.
Phil,
but,
I've been around a while. Take my sage advice here. You're missing the big story. 2 words: body double. I'm telling you. Look into it. That's the only explanation.
Don't
body
look into
double. Thanks, Phil Wegmann. Have a great July 4th. Enjoy that B-2 flyover. They're stealthy, you know.
It's going to be wild.
It is. It's 7:43.